Welcome to the Create a New You show, helping you to do better, go further, have greater, feel exceptional, and improve the quality of your life. Here is your host. I am the Sharonda.
Hi, I am the Sharonda, and this is the Create a New You show. Today's episode is talking about psychic abilities. Psychic abilities. And today's guest is Lisa. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So, some people are kind of maybe leery of psychic abilities, and they think it's kind of I don't know, what would you say? Scary?
Well, I think part of it is that we're brought up, most of us are brought up that don't flirt with the devil. Some people will say that it's against, religion. But a lot of people don't understand that everybody has an innate ability. Everybody has a gut instinct or intuition or a mother's intuition. And that's all psychic ability. And some of us can develop it a little bit further. And that's where I like to separate fact from fiction, where some people are scared, and I'm like, don't be scared, you've already got this ability. Use it to the best of your ability now. So that's what I try to teach people.
And there's absolutely no reason to be scared of it.
There's not. There's really not. Sometimes people are like, well, what if I see something bad? You don't. I mean, you really don't. You might get an uneasy feeling, which is very normal, but you don't see horrific things.
Right.
So there's no reason to be afraid of it like that.
And you mentioned that everyone has the ability. Some people are able to tap into it better than others.
Correct.
And for people who say, oh, no, I don't have that, I would say, what about those gut feelings?
Exactly. And I like to tell people, anybody that has a hand or an arm can draw. Some of us can draw better than others.
Yes.
And it's the same ability. It's exactly the same thing. They're all God's gifts.
So tell me, when did you realize, at what point in your life, about how old were you when you realized that you had this ability that you were able to tap in a little bit better than most people?
8. I was 8 years old.
A child?
I was a child. I was a young child, and I had a premonition dream, and it was of my godmother passing away. And it wasn't a sad dream. Of course, when somebody dies, yeah, it's sad. But I went to my dad and I said, I had this dream and Bridget died. And he's like, well, everything's fine. And well, it happened a week later. And while it didn't happen exactly the way it was in my dream, it was pretty close. And then he said, well, okay. Well, come to find out, I learned later that I'm a 4th generation psychic. On both sides, on mother's side and father's side.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it's to the point where, like my great-grandmother on my dad's side, she used to live in Brooklyn, Illinois, and it was listed as psychic or fortune teller or something like that. She was known.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, you realized you had the ability like at 8 years old. So at what point did you decide that you were going to embrace it and help others with your gift?
Well, let me rewind for just a second. I was 8 years old and in a Catholic school. And it was, when you're 8, you tell everybody, you can do something, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I couldn't do that. So I pretty much let it go. And then when I was about 16 in high school, I found out that a couple people had the same things that I could do, so we were kind of cliquish, but I guess I was about 21 or 22. My husband at the time was a police officer, and there was a missing person, and I actually helped with that. So I was in my early 20s. And then from there, that was it. 30 years later, here we are.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned that you were in the Catholic school.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't grow up Catholic, but I did grow up in a religious household. And what would you say is the difference or the similarity between a psychic and a prophet?
They usually say that prophets talk about, they prophesize about Jesus and God, and we don't do that. We look into the future and we look at what kind of path you're on. But prophets usually speak about religion, religious things. So that's what kind of separates us.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And for the viewers, I think they can kind of get it, because I have a lot of viewers that attend church, religious, and they are understanding about prophets, but not so much about psychics.
Right, because there's the fine line in the Bible that that says something about heresy and stuff like that. But what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of the Bible was written by prophets.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's very true.
Yeah. So it's a lot of come and go. But I say, if I'm not using this wrong and I'm using this correctly, how can a gift from God be wrong?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've pretty much scratched the surface of psychic abilities and what it is, what it isn't, and that is not really something that you should be scared of.
Not at all. And I love to sit down with people and just try to teach them about their intuitions and their gut instincts, and listen to that. Listen to that. If something in you is saying no, listen to that. If something is saying you're good, don't worry about it, blah blah blah, use that. Go with that.
Sounds great. So do you actually have like classes or like one-on-ones or?
One-on-ones. I haven't done classes yet, but I do have one-on-ones. I do have an agent that people can go through to get a hold of me for stuff like that. But yeah, it's booming.
Oh, wow. Because I'm sure people have a lot of questions because, like I said, those gut feelings and it's like, something told me. You hear that a lot, I'm sure.
Right.
Something said, do such and such. Or something told me not to do such and such.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I want people to understand. If that little voice inside of you is saying, oh, no, Sharonda, don't do that, or, oh, yes, Lisa, go for it, then listen to what your conscience is telling you. Because that's the ability that you have. That's our God-given ability.
I love it.
So do I.
Yeah, and when you embrace that, accept it, and really tune into it, and really pay more attention to it, it really does help you.
It does, and it's a way that you can be comfortable with your own self, and not second guess yourself or backpedal, and accept what's given before you, and okay. And that's another thing I like to talk about, what kind of paths people are on. It's not necessarily all about futuristic things. It's more about what kind of path you're on. Can you do anything to change that path? This is what would happen if you tweak this just a little bit. So we've got kind of a big realm of things that we could discuss and talk about.
And that falls right in line with what Creating New You is all about. It's about identifying what's going on with you, realizing are you on the right track, are you doing the right thing? If you're not, if there's something within you that should be different, identify that and start working on it to change it so that you can get on the right track.
Right. Listen to yourself. If yourself is saying, you need to lose 10 pounds, you need to get a new job, you need to do this, so you listen to yourself and you create a new you. And like I try to tell people, it's not about what other people think.
Right.
It's about you. It's totally about you. This is your life.
Yes.
This is your journey.
Yes.
Make the most of it.
Yes. How can people contact you?
Several ways. I do have a website, www.lisapini.com, Pini. They can call me at area code 315-796-6014, or they can go to a website, Abyss Walker Entertainment. My picture will pop up and my agent will be there and they can contact me through that. Facebook at Lisa Pini Psychic Medium, or at blackcatpsychic@AOL.com.
Well, there you have it. I am the Sharonda, and I've been here with Lisa Pini, a world-class psychic, and here we are helping you so that you can go further, have greater, do better, and increase the quality of your life. This has been the Create a New You show, and see you next time. Bye-bye.